All right, peace. So this message is going to ruffle feathers. There's no way to get around it. I know it's going to ruffle feathers, but that's okay. I was told yesterday, I was shown this morning that it's going to ruffle feathers. This is, appropriately titled, just to get to the point. I have actually never used this deck. I've practiced with this deck some years ago, but we're going to use it because, music is my soul, and, I do have the skills of rapping, and so I need all my queen help here to relate this message. And I'm also using all the queens of my sacred, or all the feminine energies or feminine goddesses of my House of Sacred Harmony deck. And I'm also using the queens of the tarot, the High Priestess and the Empress, okay, to convey this message. All right. It's not for nothing. It's not for nothing. Ashe. It's not for nothing. It has to be understood, and it has to be nipped in the bud, okay? Nipped in the rosebud, okay? Because we want to blossom. We want to grow as women. This message is directed to women identifying, okay? Women who identify, those who identify as women, but who embody the womb as well, right? So women who embody the womb, who embody goddess energy, who are seeking connection with deeper layers of divine feminine energy, and understanding the process of healing, and understanding the reality of the experience of embodying what it means to have dark goddess energy. Okay, I'm gonna start with let's start with tarot. Okay, let's start with tarot. I already shuffled my rap hip hop queens oracle. All right, but let's start here to see where the main energy is elementally, right, in terms of fire, water, air, earth, or High Priestess energy, Empress energy. Who needs the most direction here with this message? We have the Empress here. So this is Torah. I don't know, the Torah. That's the High Priestess though, okay? But we got the Empress here, Taurus or Libra energy, right? We're dealing with Venus, the planet Venus, and love. All right, so, love is abundance, right? Love is abundance. When you embody a loving energy, you are not depleted, right? That's the whole essence of the Empress, is fruition and fertility, right? She represents the pregnancy, or the mother, or the womb, okay? And the forever giving nature that she embodies, right? With love, there is patience, though. With love, there is empathy, though. All right? There's nothing mean-spirited about the Empress, right? There's nothing mean-spirited about the Empress. Mean-spirited energy does not belong in Empress energy, right? An Empress holds her authority and her power through love. Now, love has boundaries, right? And love knows how to be assertive, and love may have to put on an austere kind of persona to protect itself and to have boundaries, right? But it's not an energy that you stay in. It's not an energy that pushes back, right? It just is. And anything that isn't a vibrational match or equal to that will automatically be redirected, okay? You don't have to put your fangs out in an Empress energy, right? You don't have to wear your fangs in an Empress energy. The dark goddess energy that the Empress embodies is a knowing, right? When we're exploring our femininity and the many levels and layers of it, the thickest layers are those that deal with our shadows, right? Our traumas and our pain that we've experienced in this lifetime, and things we may be aware of, maybe in past lives, if you're into that. But when we understand the pain, when we've dived into our emotions, and we've accepted the heavy emotions or the unfavorable, unpleasant emotions that we experience, we learn how to regulate them. Like, I'm getting Olokun energy, right? We embody the depth and those things that kind of keep us chained down, and we free them with that sense of innocence, right? Where you get into a more Yemaya energy, a sense of innocence or a sense of ease that comes with the nurturing aspect of your emotions, right? We're not chained down into the depths of our pain, and we don't express ourselves from the depths of our pain. We express ourselves from the knowing. We express ourselves from the awareness, and that's what the Empress does too. And that's the energy or the aura that surrounds the Empress, and why it repels energies that are not in alignment with love. Okay, so if you're attracting energies that aren't in alignment with love, and you find yourself having to fight them, or having to bare your teeth, or having to be mean, and having to be a bitch, there's something within you that has not been addressed, healed, and released. Okay, so that those energies don't even come near you, or so that you're able to, with ease and with poise and with grace, have them released from your space. Ashe. Let me pull one of these sacred House of Sacred Harmony oracles. Right, see what goddess comes out here for another message. We're still dealing with Empress energy, so any woman out there working on their feminine energy, you know, wanting to be in Empress energy or feeling themselves in Empress energy, gotta get out of this mean bitch phase. All right, I will excuse my language, but this had to come out. This had to come out. Ain't nothing about being a mean bitch part of sitting on a throne and knowing yourself. More fertility. This is Het Haru, right? It says your thoughts are your seeds. Your emotions behind these thoughts will determine the outcome of your crops, bearing fruit, thorns, or weeds to choke out your dreams and self-sabotage. Water your crops with humility, faith, gratitude, appreciation, and faith. These are the things needed for your harvest to flourish. Above all, have no fear, for fear destroys the manifestation process and instantly kills dreams. This is no mistake, no coincidence, all in alignment, okay? We got Het Haru energy here with the Empress, double on the fertility, speaking on the fact that if you want to have abundance, right, and you want to nurture your crop, it's like when you talk to plants. When they say when you talk to plants and they grow, you know, all healthily, they stay green, you know what I mean? They produce the fruits, but if you talk to them nasty, okay, they start to wilter, they start to brown. Okay, it's the same thing when we're dealing with people. It's the same thing when we're dealing with ourselves. How we talk to ourselves, how we talk to the things we want to manifest, how we talk to the people we want in our lives and around us have an effect. Okay, they definitely have an effect. What did it say here? Let me read that again. Your emotions behind your thoughts will determine the outcome of your crops, bearing fruit, thorns, or weeds to choke out your dreams and self-sabotage. Right? Having humility, faith, and gratitude. Like not being too haughty. Don't be too haughty. Don't be too haughty. Don't think that just because you fine, just because you got money, just because it like that you just on your throne. No, it's an internal thing too. It's something that exudes from the inside out, not from the outside in. Okay? The fruits of your labor should be spiritual as well as physical, as well as material. Okay, stop using what's on the outside to compensate for something that's imbalanced on the inside. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. You may be able to fool the men that you're attracted to or that who are attracted to you. You may be able to fool women who may be attracted to you, but you can't fool God. Let me pull one of these hip hop queens, because I don't want to be on here long. I just want to be on here strong. And that's what we on here to do. That's what we're here to do. We're here to be strong, right? We're here to be strong women. And part of being a strong woman, you don't got to be no mean bitch. You don't got to have no ill spirit, right? I'm a spiritualist, okay? I deal with dealing with lower nature energies and stuff like that. And I do healing within myself to become aware of these things. So I don't say any of this out of just sheer judgment and wanting to just, you know, talk shit. I'm saying this because I know there are women out there that want to heal and embody a more soft girl era, but they're having a hard time because they're using material things to compensate for inner imbalances or an inner darkness that hasn't been explored. Let's see. Let me get a song too. Okay, I might need a song out of this. Something. Maybe something. What is the reason? What is the reason? Why are you healing? What is the reason? What do you want? Cardi B is personality. What do you want? What is your personality? Like there are many, we are multidimensional, right? We're multidimensional. There are many, again, levels and layers to femininity, right? There are times where we have to turn on a beast, right? And there are times where we want to be soft. I feel like Cardi B embodies that perfectly. The way that she is with her kids is so admirable. It's so admirable the way that she is with her kids. But when she get on that mic, she lets you know who she is, right? And so that's what it is. You may have to, at times, let people know who you are and let people know you're not one to be messed with. Okay, but at the same time, and she's a Libra, I believe, too, with the Empress energy, right? There has to be balance. There has to be a balance. You have to know when to turn on and turn off certain energy. You can't be rah-rah all the time. You can't be rah-rah all the time. There has to be a time for you to be soft. There has to be a time for you to see that there are other sides of you. If you don't have children, maybe there's some type of project or a job or a business that you put more nurturing energy into, that you treat like your baby, or you treat like your babies, or if you have nieces or nephews or friends with children and how you deal with those children, you know what I'm saying? But it's not, it may not have to be your own children. It could be something that you've brought to life or given birth to that you put more loving energy and patience into, okay? Everything doesn't have to be aggressive. All right. Everything doesn't have to be aggressive. Sometimes that's a defense mechanism. When we haven't healed things from the depths of ourselves, right, from past pain or past trauma, we do put on a tougher exterior or a harder ego sometimes, right? And we do that to survive. It's a mode. It's a way of living in survival mode, right? It's a part of, living in survival mode. But it's like that works against having a calmer nervous system too. Like we talk a lot about having a calm nervous system in order to embody a more softer feminine flow and softer creative flow. Yeah, you can't be rah-rah, have your claws out and your teeth out and embody that softness and feel that feminine flow and feel security in that. Or else, right, the security that you're going to seek is going to be in the material world, right? The security that you're ultimately going to seek will be for the material world or any attention that you get from people, rather than the security of having a wholeness in your heart, right? Again, with love here, with Venus, right? A wholeness in your heart, a wholeness with spirit, a wholeness with God, a wholeness with a connection of a higher power or a heavenly father too. See, with Het Heru energy, she is the daughter of Ra, the sun god Ra, is why I say that. Right? Your heavenly father or your most high father is, the man that you want to have the deepest connection with, okay? Rather than using your sexuality or your sensuality or your beauty to attract men to find a sense of security. We don't do that. We don't do that, okay? We don't do that. As a woman in her knowing of self, and in her security, we connect with our higher power, with our higher self, and with our spirit guides, with our angels, with our ancestors, with the goddesses, to find that wholeness and connection. It doesn't come from, outside validations. Okay, that's part of just embodying feminine energy. Even with men who embody their feminine energy, you know that your wholeness comes from something that's beyond the physical, because the physical is temporary, right? But, all in all, let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up, okay? What is that song that she has? It's me, hello. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to know who you are. You have to know who you are beyond your pain, beyond the trauma, all right? Keeping yourself light, keeping yourself playful, keeping yourself loving, keeping yourself nurturing. This isn't to say that you shouldn't enjoy material things. If you got the money to get the things that you want and go to places you want to go, you better do that. Okay? You better do that. That's what you're in this life to do. But know that ultimately, as within, so without, you are whole. You are beautiful. You don't need to be a mean bitch. You don't need to embody that energy to everybody. You don't need to have your guard up with everybody. Okay? It's about having discernment. Okay? It's about having a level of discernment. And knowing that when you embody a certain frequency, a vibrational frequency, your aura is going to repel certain energies anyway. You have to have trust and confidence in that. You have to be confident enough in your energy to know that something that ain't supposed to be around you won't be around you. So you don't gotta, okay? You don't gotta be like that. If you enjoyed this message, please like, share, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the services I have to offer, please click the link in the description. All right, peace.